1.35. Contact Denver Tower 1Q1.35. Frontier Flight 690.
Alright, let's try this again. I screwed up my last stream, and we'll see if this works better. I doubt it will. It seems like we're just having bad internet connections anyway. But I'm gonna do this all again really quick because we screwed things up last flight.
SkyWest 4681, clear to Rogers World.
Much talking going on at the same time. Weird.
Runway 17 right, initial climb 8000, then as filed, squawk 6566.
Alright, so I'm doing this really quick. I've already done this once. We were actually pushing out, but my pilot's life wasn't working properly because I forgot to turn on FSU IPC, and it screwed the whole thing up. We were already on taxi, so this shouldn't take too long. We've got to set some things. Doesn't take too much time. Shouldn't, at least. Let's say the cabin pressure. Setting the cabin pressure here for Denver, 5440 is the hardest part.
Denver ground, southwest 1061, gate Alpha 42, request pushback and start up. Southwest 1061, pushback and start up approved. Pushback and start up approved, southwest 1061. Denver ground, southwest 1061.
Alright, pressure set, 5440. Continuing on here, we want the air conditioning, and it is on, the circulating fan on. And we'll go low for the windshields. Emergency lights armed, seatbelt signs on, no smoking signs on, hydraulics all set. Our lights are in the proper position. Why are they talking over each other? Very annoying. Alright. Get in here, we'll do this really quick. Shouldn't take too long. So we're at Denver. I radio just a little bit more. Denver, copy this down. Flight plan. I had a brain fart there. Denver to OKC. Alternate is Dallas Fort Worth. And we are SkyWest. Right there, 4681. First waypoint is going to be Doozy. Going to Golf Charlie Kilo. Up to Rolls. Execute. We're taking off runway 17 right because of the winds, and it's the only one of the two runways they're doing. Runway 8 and 17 right today in Denver. 17 right with the wind coming out at 200 degrees makes more sense than runway 8. We're going to be taking FP 7, transition Doozy, execute, and then arriving in OKC, we're going to be coming in ILS, not ILS, RNAV, 17 left Zulu, cam at 3, and flap for the transition, execute. Check the legs, make sure we got no discontinuities. There we have one, make sure we hit execute, so that actually applies. Everything else looks perfect. Back into the our flow here. 39,000 feet is our cruise. Go over to the performance page, or the flight book, or the EFB, whatever we call it, flight bag. Copy the data over. We'll also set the takeoff right there. We got all of our information. 4100 fuel, cargo 1597. That matches up right there. A little bit extra fuel. Cargo right on the dot. Passenger 64. Execute VNAV setup. Nothing that really needs to be changed in there, so go to the legs page. And on our screen, we'll set VNAV. We'll turn off airports so it doesn't have so much. We'll go to the direct intercept page. I kind of got to do my checklist again here. Alright, so before start checklist, passenger signs on, pressurization is set, altimeter is not set, 10.2966, anti-skid test, you write down here, actually we're looking for anti-skid inbound, outbound, that light comes on, rearm it, FMS and IRS are set. Parking brake is set. Let's do our takeoff briefing because I can hear them outside still loading. They're almost done. We'll do a quick takeoff brief again.
Delta 1745, contact Denver Tower 121.35.
Alright, so we're at gate Bravo 42. We're going to be going to runway 17 right. We're likely going to get Bravo Sierra up to Kilo, over to Bravo November, Mike 9 onto runway 17 right for takeoff. Once we take off, we're going to go into our SID, which is EPKI 7. First waypoint is GIST. We're going to be on a course of 97 degrees once we climb out. Actually, you can see the climb out right here is telling us turn on to a 118 course, GIST. Focus on that. GIST, we need to be above 7,000 feet by the time we get there. Shouldn't be a problem. We're already at 5,400. Millhouse, going to be below 10,000. Smither, then will be... Are these all Simpson? Yeah, they're all Simpsons. One, that's pretty cool. Millhouse, Smithers. Smithers will be at below 12,000. Then we'll course correct to 92 degrees to get to Simpsons, or to Simpson. Then Apu, which will be above 14,000. Then a course correct to 110, and then to EPKI, which is where we're going to be above 15,000. Then 102 degrees out to, you can see the real life, we're going to be at Poison, then Cotton, look at the little, not the scale, Poison 109 over to Cotton, and then direct out to Doozy. At that point we'll then be in our regular flight. We'll fly down to Garden City VOR. All the way down to Rolls, and then we'll be in for our star and into OKC right there. We're coming in runway 17. Looks like we have 3 runways. We got 2 parallel. They are operating parallel landings on 17 right and 17 left, so we do have to be aware of that and make sure we are on the right runway as we're coming in. Alright, let's request pushback and startup.
Ground, SkyWest 4681, gate Bravo 42. Request pushback and start up. SkyWest 4681, pushback and start up approved. Pushback and start up approved. SkyWest 4681. Denver ground, Southwest 528, gate Alpha 32. Request pushback and start. Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Southwest 528, pushback and start up approved. Pushback and startup approved. Southwest 528.
Gonna lose the jetway here.
Southwest 528. Request taxi. Southwest 528. Taxi to holding point. Runway 25. By Alpha Sierra. Alpha Alpha Golf. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. 5 by Alpha Sierra. Alpha Alpha Golf. Southwest
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight.
These jetways can't decide what they want to do. Alright, we're looking
watch our cabin crew display the safety features of
Yeah,
the
you can see
aircraft.
we didn't do all my checklist properly. Want to go down here. We want to make sure our radio is on standby, or that's our backup radio. Stab trim, lock trim, and yaw damper. Actually see all that right there. Clear. We don't have yaw damper here. Get the flight directors on. And our initial climb is 8,000 feet at altitude. We're going to go in nose tail to the left, so we're facing east.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So we'll turn off the packs, and we'll start the right engine. Actually, we need to have our fuel pumps on. Once again, I forgot to do my checklist. Okay, beacon light on, fuel pumps on, fuel quantity, pump hydraulics on. Again, I keep forgetting to do that checklist. Alright, so now the engine is coming up. Looks good. This little red tab. In this idle position for the right engine. We do have our initial altitude 8,000 feet. Flight directors are on. Set this to nav. This will be, we'll use the speed for our climb once we engage the autopilot.
Southwest 2912, taxi to gate Charlie 51, by Romeo 6, Romeo 9, Echo, Mike Zulu, Lima, Echo Delta, Charlie November. Taxi to gate Charlie 51, by Romeo 6, Romeo 9, Echo, Mike Zulu, Lima, Echo Delta, Charlie November, Southwest 2912. Denver ground, Southwest 1289er, yes, Bravo 15, request pushback and start up. Southwest 1289er, pushback and start up approved. Pushback and start up approved. Southwest 1289er.
Starting left engine.
Please set parking brakes.
Denver ground, Southwest 1289er.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
1289er, head to holding point, runway 25, by Bravo November, Hotel Alpha Golf.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
25, yeah, Bravo November, Hotel Alpha Golf, Southwest 1289er. Southwest 1289er, hold position. Hold position, Southwest 1289er.
Alright, after start checklist, they do have Gen 1 and Gen 2 in the on position, ignition off. Left and right packs can come back on.
Unlocking gear.
Probes on. And nose wheel steering arm. After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist. First we're going to get our flaps into position 8 degrees.
Tow truck disconnected.
Our flight control check.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Southwest 597.
Rudders.
Holding point, runway 25, by Alpha
Trims and
Sierra,
stab
Alpha
trim
Alpha
is going to
Golf.
be 7.2. That's set. Thrust reversers armed. And taxi checklist complete.
Denver ground. SkyWest 4681. Request taxi.
SkyWest 4681, taxi to holding point, runway 17 right, by Bravo Sierra, Kilo, Bravo.
Okay, so I don't know why they tell us Mike 10, because Mike 10 is actually behind Mike 9, so it's like we're going backwards. A little weird. Looks like everything is working properly. Good to go. Right back where I was about 15 minutes ago. Stream quality is still not great, but that's what you get when you have Spectrum Internet here in the US, where you basically have a monopoly, and I don't know, it's up and down.
Hold position.
Hold position. Southwest 597.
I'm incredibly jealous of my parents because they got AT&T and they got the fiber optic, so they get the They get the really good speeds down. The really, you know, I'm paying for 1 gig internet, right? But you don't get that upload speed. You only get the download is 1 gig. When I speed it out, it's about 800 megs. But if I check the upload's only like 30 or something. Which, I mean, it's okay, but it's not entirely stable either. That's a big problem. Anyway, let's get this flight on the road.
Southwest 528, contact Denver Tower 121.35. Southwest 528, hold position.
Right, note about Denver is Denver Airport has a lot of terrain issues here in Flight Simulator. I'm gonna do a test one, maybe this afternoon, where I'm gonna just turn off all my, just the whole community folder, turn off all the mods, see if that fixes anything. Because I removed all my Denver specific mods and it didn't change any of the problems. Now, luckily on this taxi out we don't have many issues. That's nice. You can see the terrain kind of out of whack over there. And if we go the other direction, coming out of the terminal area, it's a mess. We'll see. Hopefully the runway doesn't have any issues. We can deal with it on the taxiway, but if you're landing on the runway or taking off on the runway and there's issues, it'll be a big old mess. Alright, before takeoff, checklist. Lights and strobes. Fuel fuel cross flow off. Ignition. Flight attendant advised. Transponder on. Radar as required. Checking the CAS, there's nothing there. We are ready for departure.
Southwest 1179er, Denver Tower, SkyWest 4681, runway 17 right, ready for departure.
And I probably didn't mention, but I am using a pilot's life 2, doing a SkyWest career right now, or kind of the beginning of a most airline pilots, they start out at a regional airline and are at SkyWest. I picked SkyWest because it has, basically they fly everywhere in the US, and what's really cool is they have partnerships with the 3 legacy carriers, Delta, American, and United, and they also have a partnership with Alaska. So depending on what flight we're flying, we might be in the United, my whole trip, this trip I have going on right now, it's all United Express, but last one I did, I was bouncing between Delta and United Express, depending on the flight. So, and if we get out west more, San Francisco, Seattle area, we'll be with the Alaska livery. Cool. That's what I like about it. And we get to fly the CRJs. We got wind is 200 at 10 knots.
Runway 17 right, cleared for takeoff. SkyWest 4681.
Southwest 597, wind 200 degrees at 10 knots, runway 25, cleared to takeoff.
No.
Runway 25, cleared for takeoff.
25 crosses us.
597.
Southwest 597, contact Denver, departure.
They're over there. Wondering why they got runway 25 though, because runway 8's the one that's supposed to be in use.
Southwest 597, contact Denver, departure 119.7.
Contact Denver, departure 119.7, Southwest 597.
Positive rate, gear up.
Gunway Denver Tower, Southwest 20903, on final 16 left. Southwest 2093, wind 200 degrees at 10 knots, clear to land 16 left. Clear to land 16 left, Southwest 20903. Southwest 2093, vacate right.
I don't know why the altitude's never right on the...
Contact ground 121.85. Vacate right with Whiskey Delta. When vacated, contact ground 121.85. Southwest 20903. SkyWest 4681, contact Denver, departure 119.7.
Contact Denver, departure 119.7. SkyWest 4.
Trim this out.
7. Denver departure, SkyWest 4681, 7 departure at 8,100. Continue climb 13,000, Southwest 597, SkyWest 4681, radar contact, continue climb 10,000, altimeter 2967. Continue climb 10,000, SkyWest 4681. Southwest 597, climb and maintain. Flight level 220, contact Denver, center 127.905. Climb and maintain. Flight level 220, contact Denver, center 127.905, Southwest 597. SkyWest 4681, maintain 10,000. Maintain 10,000, SkyWest 4681.
Alright, landing lights off. Flaps are retracted. Thrust reversers off. We're at 10,000 feet.
Southwest 597, climb and maintain. Flight level 220, contact Denver, center 127.905.
Decent fly out by hand, I think. Better than I've usually done.
Climb and maintain.
Oh, we'll get some.
Level 220, contact
Fortunately, when you're flying out by hand, it's a little hard to take screenshots. Get some pictures. Pretty cool. So, what have you done about that, Travis? Yeah, I don't know what airline I want to fly for, but I've scheduled a introductory flight with ATP flight school, which is basically the biggest flight school. A lot of people, I mean, some people consider it a pilot mill, which it kind of is. I mean, they're getting you through 7 months and getting you out on making money and stuff, so I'm not sure which airline I would want to fly for myself. But yeah, first things first is get yourself to a local airport, or well, go look it up. I'll look up ATP Flight School, and they have what's on here? Fine. Give me a second. There we go. Fine. They're located all over the place. They got schools. I mean, there's a school just down the road from where I live here in Milwaukee, which is nice. That opened up in the last couple of years. Yeah, they're all over. That's the advantage. Like looking at an ATP is that they're so standardized, and they're all over the place. There's just locations everywhere. Another one I've been looking at, which seems pretty cool and interesting and fun, but is Sling Flight School, but I think they're only located in Los Angeles area. They just have like they operate out of 2 airports over there. What are we doing here? I see what's going on.
SkyWest 4681. Denver Center, SkyWest 4681, 7 departure at 12,500, climbing flight level 220.
ATP is a little bit more expensive, but they'll take you from 0 hours, like you have no private pilot or anything, and they will take you all the way through, get your all the way through your private pilots, your instrument, your multi-engine, your commercial rating, and if you go with the airline, the full program, you'll also get CFI training, CFI instrument training, and then CFI multi-engine certificate. I believe you get the CFI multi-engine. So that might be an extra thing, but you at least get the CFI and the CFI-I, which then allows you to, if you had a good career as a student with ATP, and you've proven yourself as a good, and you whatever standards, they will then extend you a job offer to be a CFI for ATP, where then you can build up your hours to 1,500 hours, and you'll also, because you're working for ATP, then you can take advantage of their partnerships with different airlines. I think the ones I know off the top of my head, they have partnerships with SkyWest, which you can get into the SkyWest Cadet program, which will start you on your seniority for benefits with SkyWest. It doesn't start you on your pilot seniority actually until you get there, but you're within the system. You've already done the interview, so once you get into the cadet program, all you have to do is that once you get to 1,500, they'll send you a thing like, hey, we're hiring you, fly out to St. George, Utah, and get your training. When you're in those cadet programs, that's how it works. Like, once you're accepted because you've done that interview. I think Envoy has a complete flow-through program, so get into their program, and then you interview with Envoy, get into the program, American Airlines Envoy flow-through program. You do that one interview, and now you're in. And that's probably what you'd be looking at, would be a pretty good one to get into, because once you're accepted into the Envoy program, you then fly for Envoy Regional, flying the CRJs or the ERJs. You fly those for 2, maybe 3 years, depending on what's going on. But it's like right now, it's like 2 to 3 years. And then when they have an opening and your seniority number at the regional comes up at Envoy, you get flowed through right directly to American Airlines, and you don't even have to re-interview. You don't have to interview. You just go to training to get trained on the A320 or the 737. Get the American Airlines training, but because you've been in Envoy and they do everything so similar. So it's insane. Prayer Warriors, yeah, it takes, it all depends on how you do it. If you do the, I think ATP has the fastest program to get up to an airline, or to get to, you're not going to be at the airline within this amount of time, but to making money, to flight instructing, basically, which is the first thing you do to make money. So ATP Flight School, they do it. It's a 7-month program. Some other ones, there's, I think, Western Flyers, or is it American Flyers? Yeah, I think it's American Flyers. They're basically ATP's main competition, and their program takes about 7 and 8 months. I think Sling, which it has one location in the Los Angeles area, or they operate out of 2 airports in the Los Angeles area. Their program takes about 8 months. Way cheaper. I think it's about $30,000 cheaper than ATP. So, but they take slightly longer, about 8 months. But starting from no experience, 0 hours, you've never even been in a plane before, passenger, pilot, anything. It doesn't matter. You're going from 0 experience. They will get you, if you work. You obviously, it's sink or swim. You got to put the effort in and study. A lot of self-study, a lot of, but they provide a lot of the materials and all that stuff, and simulators, and obviously you have, but to answer your question, it's 7 months, So I think there's a breakdown. Let me see if I can find the breakdown for it on ATP. I'm looking at, actually could pull it up here. Get it on the screen. Come on. There it is. Alright, so this is ATP. This is the school I'm looking at primarily because it's one of the first ones. It's the biggest one. It's the one that, and also just happens to be the one that has a school near me too. So, it's probably the one I'm going to go with, even though I've heard some negative things about it. I've heard a lot of positive things about it. I'm just trying to wait for the stream to come back here. Sorry about the stream. Internet quality is kind of bouncing back and forth. But this is ATP. Let's see if I can. One second here. I'm going to flip my screens around here so I can be looking at the camera while I'm looking at it. Over here. I'm actually going to look away. I'm going to have to look over here to see your chats when I'm chatting, but really brightens everything up too. Okay, there we go. So the one, this is the main program they do. They used to have like a kind of a more flexible program, but they found that most people weren't really interested in that. So this is the airline career pilot program. This is their main offering. You can see right there, start from zero time, almost $97,000 basically. A little bit more if you live in certain areas. California, you're gonna be $100,000. So it's expensive, but you have to keep in mind that you can do this. You could do this. You could just go to your local mom and pop. You could go to the local airport and hire a CFI, rent a plane, and all that. But typically, most people that do that, they're doing it on the side. They're doing it while they're working, which can be a good thing because you're bringing in money and you're not just going radio silence on making any income. But basically, with the ATP, you're going in, you're not working, right? You can't hold a full-time job. You can't even really probably do a part-time job with this unless you're doing, work from home or something, kind of gig work. I'm trying to tell you guys about this, but the internet is not cooperating. So, if the stream is really bad and you're not getting most of this, I'll probably just do it again at some point. You can see right there, full financing available and airline tuition reimbursement. So that's a big thing with this school. You're not going to get this with local mom and pop, both of these things. But it's a fast track. You're doing this in 7 months. You're getting your pilot certification through commercial and certified flight instructor, multi-single and instrument. Also, I think you get to multi also. I'll have to look at that again. Actually, that does make sense that you'd get your multi as well. But I'll have to look if that's the part of the main program, or if you have to do something extra. I mean, it's fixed cost, so you're not going to go over this amount. Like once you sign, that's what you're paying. You're always guaranteed to have a plane. You're guaranteed to have a plane. I mean, that's a big thing. You can do this. I saw somewhere on Pro Pilot Playbook, which I've subscribed to, there are a couple of pilots that are kind of giving back in the sense of, teaching people how to get into being an airline pilot. How do you do it? Like actually, not the technical side, but how do you get in? Where to train? How do you do it? And they actually, I think they laid out a plan where you could do all of this for like $40,000 at your local mom and pop. But you'd still probably want to fly 5 days a week. You'd probably still want to dedicate full days to doing this. You do the same thing that you do at ATP, but you do it at a local, and if you find the right place. The problem with that is you're hoping that the plane, availability of TFIs and a plane to actually fly. With ATP, you're always going to have a plane to fly. If you're scheduled to have a flight at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to have a plane to do that, unless there's some catastrophic reason that all the planes at the location have been destroyed or something, or are all damaged and down. It's very. They have some other extra things here, like they have this 100+ hour multi-engine option. So if you go through just the airline career pilot program, that you only get like 25 hours multi-engine, which is airline. That's enough to get your foot in the door, get most jobs, including at a regional. But this will just give you more, make you, But here you got like 38 airline partnerships offering direct path to major airlines. 82 nationwide locations. I think, like here you got a Spirit Direct program. You can get right from, so basically you go with like the Spirit Direct program. I think Frontier has one also, maybe even Allegiant. So not your Uniteds and your Deltas and your Americans, but kind of that next tier, those budget airlines. Where you're still going to get paid really good money. You're still making, airline pilot money. You're still making well in the 6 figures, right? The difference between what a Spirit pilot is paid and a Delta pilot is paid is not very much a difference. Delta's obviously going to be more. Delta is the kind of the pinnacle, but you're making, the difference is a couple, maybe tens of thousands of dollars, and you're right there at Spirit. I mean, to go straight to Spirit versus going to a regional, possibly is a big thing. But with a program like this, you'd go through the training, the 7 months training, you get your CFI, and then you do your CFI at ATP until you get to 1,500 hours. Once you get to 1,500 hours, Spirit will then give you, if you're in their program, they'll then give you a call and say, hey, here's your training date, show up, make sure you have this, this, and this, and there you go. You're now in the flight deck for Spirit Airlines or for Frontier, or whatever one you go with. Be the largest fleet of aircraft. One of the drawbacks people talk about with ATP is that they have these factory new Garmin G500s. So they have glass cockpits. They don't have, most of their training aircraft, I don't think they have any training aircraft that has the old analog stuff. So that could be a drawback, because you might get a job now where, one of your first jobs, if you don't go the flight instructing route, but you decide to go out, you might get stuck in a cockpit that has analog, and you haven't learned how to do that, really, and you're going to be a little bit behind on that. I kind of look at it kind of similar to how mine are automatics, so I'm restricted to only using automatics. Now, with flying, you're not restricted based on glass or analog, so that's not a concern there, but you won't have experience knowing how to use a lot of stuff you can see there, nationally awarded training. I wanted to find... There we go. So here's the training timeline. You're asking how long it takes. So this is from 0 time. Now you can also go private pilot. Basically, what the difference is you knock out your 2 months of your training right there, because you can see you just go from private pilot 7 weeks. It's basically the same exact timeline, except you don't have to spend 2 months getting your private pilot. Most people take years to get their private pilot, and they kind of just piecemeal it, which is one way to go as well. So from 0 time, it's going to take you 8 weeks to get your private pilot, if you keep up. And obviously, if you start falling behind, you're going to have issues. Then another 7 weeks to get your instrument rating. So now you're a PPL with an instrument rating, so you still can't fly for money, but you can fly in the clouds. Another 3 weeks of doing a crew style flight experience. So I couldn't tell you what exactly that is, but it's kind of giving you the, this is kind of this additional little thing here that you might not get at a mom and pop place. But this kind of learning how to fly with another pilot as a crew, right? Because typically when you do flight training, it's you and a flight instructor, and the flight instructor is teaching you, but not really flying with you. Typically, whereas a crew style, you and a fellow student are doing cross countries and flying together, dividing the responsibilities, radios and navigation and stuff like that. Here you have your another 3 weeks. You're going to get your commercial pilot certification. Now you can earn money, and once you get to there, now they're going to send you off to CFI Academy, learn how to be a certified flight instructor, start making money. Eventually. I work for them in just another 2 weeks after you get your CFI, hopefully. You're then going to get the multi-engine add-ons so that you can obviously fly planes that are bigger, faster, have multiple engines. And I think this will also add on to your CFI. You'll get the CFI multi-engine as well. Then you work as a flight instructor, whether it's for ATP. If you want to do some of their airline partnerships, it requires you to work for ATP as a flight instructor. Hey Mika. So if you want this tuition reimbursement, that stuff, you're gonna have to fly with ATP. You're not required to be a flight instructor for ATP. You can go be a flight instructor somewhere else, and you probably can make more money going other places. That is a little bit of the trade-off, is that you're not gonna be making a ton of money as a flight instructor for ATP, but you're gonna be gaining your time. You're gonna gain your time fast because they have a lot of students coming through. You're also going to be able to take advantage of their partnership programs. If you decide to go off and be a flight instructor somewhere else, you might be able to get in these programs. I'm not sure. You might also be able to, you could also go and do other jobs. You can work for, be a crop duster, tow banners, do pipeline mapping or whatever, that mapping things. There's lots of different jobs, low-hour jobs. That pay various different rates, different experience. Airlines, again, it's not required to be a flight instructor, but airlines would like to see some flight instructing, I suppose, because again, you learn a lot when you teach. You actually learn a little bit more. Okay, let's slow this down because our climb is stalled out because we're at Mach. Our climb is kind of stalled because we were at Mach 0.79. We need to be climbing at 0.74, so fine. Let's actually look out the window. Let's take a gander here at we've been talking about flying. Right now we're over Kansas City. We didn't get to see any of this as we were flying out on the last flight because it was kind of dark. We're going to be flying, actually going to Garden City. I remember flying over Garden City at night. Pretty cool. I'm going to keep it here. I pop. Right. We're back on here. You can see we got the tuition reimbursement. You can go other places, be a flight instructor. You can obviously get other jobs. A real good thing to do is, as you're flight instructing, whether with ATP, I'm not sure if they don't allow this. I'm sure you can go and do this. But a big thing that has been suggested, like the Pro Pilot Playbook guys, the two pilots there, they say the big thing you should do is that while you're doing your flight instructing, or whatever you're doing, if you're doing pipeline flying or crop dusting, hang out at the airport, hang around where you got like those corporate jet guys, and try to get into a jet. Whether it's just to sit in the right seat and do the radios, and you probably won't do that for pay, they probably won't pay you, but there's always corporate jet pilots who, there are guys out there that they will go around and they'll pick up flight instructors or other pilots who are hanging around the airport like, hey, you want to come up with me in the jet and help with the radios, because they know that getting you some jet experience, being in the jet, whether you're actually flying it is probably not going to be actually flying, but just to be in the jet, have a little bit of experience. I believe because I think you can put that in your your logbook, and that will just give you that little bit of edge when you're going, going for the airlines and stuff. But again, even if you just do 1,500 hours, get to your 1,500 hours by doing flight instructing, especially going through ATP, you're gonna have a really good shot at getting with these regionals and stuff like Southwest, Allegiant, Spirit. They have these direct to programs. So if you're interested, I would check out ATP, but don't limit yourself to ATP. There are a lot of other really good flight schools that do this concept where you fly from zero or from private pilot, and within 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, at least at the most a year, you can be a flight instructor and getting real paying jobs and working your way towards the airlines. It's expensive, but if you're committed, you can do it you can do it really quick. You can do it in a year, and you can be at the airlines. The way they're hiring right now, you can be at the airlines. The regionals, the Spirits, the Allegiants, the Southwests, you can be at those by the time, in 2, 3, 4 years, depending on, how your hours and, again, the hiring. But right now there's such a shortage. Hey Felix, welcome in. Yeah, I'm doing some domestic flying here with SkyWest Airlines, using a pilot's life. Back over there. So the world tour is on a slight pause right now because you're over there from Indonesia. That reminds me that, we're going to be getting over to Indonesia soon. Well, I don't know how soon, but within the next year on the world tour. We're at least over in the Pacific right now. We're going to be flying. Next flight is French Polynesia up to Fiji, or over to Fiji. Well, I'm doing a discovery flight, or I'm doing the, introductory flight, admissions flight or whatever on the 7th, May 7th. So we'll see if I actually want to do it. And then if I go up and now I'm bitten and then I'll have to figure out how to do it. We turned off. Turn off the passengers. My goal is to do it. Now it depends on if I actually do want to do it. Because I can get up in the plane and go, this isn't for me. Or I can get up there and it galvanizes it. It goes, hey, this is what you're doing. You want to do this. Because you don't want to go in like kind of, I'm not sure. That's why you want to do a discovery flight. All right up there, that's Garden City, Kansas. Flew over that the other night when we were flying from Kansas City up to Denver. Oh, not Kansas City, Wichita up to Denver. Wichita's gonna be kind of over there. Last online store. Hello, welcome in. Glad to have you guys here. Welcome in. Been kind of the stream stability's been kind of up and down, so there'll be some times where the sound and the video kind of gets choppy, and it's just my internet for some reason is being messy today. Been doing that again lately. Alright, so we're at our cruise. We want to be about Mach 0.74. I'm gonna slide the throttle back slightly. And we're a minute out from Garden City VOR. Next waypoint is going to be Rolls, 153 miles. Nautical miles is going to be 26 minutes, and then we're going to start getting ready for our descent. Alright, I'm going to go through the... I guess we're not really in range yet, but I'm going to go ahead and start doing the in-range checklist for the CRJ. First thing is our pressurization. Right now our pressure is set, our landing elevation is set for Denver, where we took off, and we need to adjust that. Bring in sim brief. You see Oklahoma City way lower. Dallas-Fort Worth also, we'd have to adjust it if we do divert, but OKC we got VFR conditions, so we're going to be landing there, no problem. 1296, so we're going to go 1300 for our landing elevation on this. Problem with this is we can't really see while we're doing it, so we just have to spin this. Now in real life, you'd be able to turn the knob and be looking at the screen. Leave it close. What are we looking for? 1300? So we're in turning knob simulator right now. 33, so another 2,000. It goes by increments of 20, so you could count it out in your head. A little bit more. Perfect. Ah, there we go, 1300 for our landing elevation for Oklahoma City. Take over here, take a look at the fuel, 2865, we're looking good on that. Go down here to our progress page, see what our fuel is going to be once we get to OKC. And we're not, I mean, the difference between... Oh, I was going to say, that's not much of a difference, but yeah, that's a... Right now we're at 2800. Once we get to our next waypoint, will be 1300. And then OKC will be just fine. You can see Dallas-Fort Worth, the same thing. That's actually interesting that the alternate and the destination are exactly the same for fuel. Wonder if that's accurate. That's kind of weird. But looking good on fuel. So fuel checked. Altimeters. So we're not going to... So again, this in-range checklist is once we're kind of probably down to 18,000. Setting our altimeters and everything for the local airport. But I can actually look. Pull up the MEDAR for OKC right now. 37 minutes old. We have winds out of 170 degrees, 9 knots. We're going to be landing at runway 17 left, so we're nice 9 knot headwind, which is perfect for landing. Visibility 10 miles, no ceiling. We have a few clouds at 25,000 feet. And the temperature, current temperature, just about 14 degrees Celsius VFR conditions. And we're going to be at 29.79 for the pressure. Hit the... Actually, we can do this. There you go. Raise your engines. Drone camera leaves a little bit to be desired. Obviously, in real life, we just look at the engines right here. We wouldn't be able to, at least in the air, we wouldn't be able to look at the engines. Ooh, like we lost our speed. You see that? It's crazy how if you pull back on the throttle just slightly, you can lose a ton of speed. So that's why our ET has gone up. Hopefully, we can get our speed back up. I don't think we might not be able to. Yeah, we're actually just losing speed. I probably didn't have to adjust the... Always depends on where you are. I might actually change our cruise. Go down to 70 so we can gain some speed back. And otherwise, we're going to drag on this flight. That's always the tricky thing with these CRJs. Is the maintaining the speed. And sometimes, depending on your altitude, if you keep it in at a certain point on the throttle, you just keep climbing with, you just keep getting more and more and more speed. On other altitudes, for example 39,000, if you know, I got the throttle now set to max and I'm not going to gain any speed unless I descend. What I'm doing right now. So a bit of back to 0.74. Pulled the throttle back and ended up losing all my speed versus maintaining the 0.74, which is what I wanted. Alright, so we're flying over, it looks like we're just about to get to Oklahoma, southern part of Kansas right now. We'll drop down 2,000 feet and get that speed back so we can get to Oklahoma City sooner rather than later. Scheduled arrival time is 21:10. So we're actually ahead of schedule anyway, to be honest. Pull this back to manual. Hearing some interesting call signs over the ATC. We got Martex 637, looking like they're landing runway 18. I'm not sure what. We also have a Show Me 8560. And of course the SkyWest, but that's for SkyWest as well. Alright, so now we're at 0.74 and we're adding speed. I'm going to try pull back the throttle a little bit. Kind of right where we want to be. And sorry about the stability of the stream. It's not working today. Being a pain that way. Alright, we still got a little bit before we get to rolls, but we can start looking at doing a little bit of an approach briefing. I got the chart up for the star, Hammett 3. We can see the real rolls point is right there, but on the chart, it's obviously not to scale, it's kind of just here. We got a holding point if we need it. Doesn't look like we have an altitude restriction there, but scuff, we got an altitude restriction and a speed, 280 knots. 280 knots, and we need between 17,000 and 12,000 feet. So we should, by the time we get to scuff, we'll already have our altimeter set as well, because we'll be past that transition point of 18,000. Camet, we need to get down to 250 knots between 15 and 10,000. Continuing in docks, we don't have anything for altitude there, but once we get to our transition into the approach flap, we need to be at 210 knots, 5,000 feet. We're going to expect the RNAV RNP approach. Looking at the approach chart itself, double check, it's RNAV RNP, Zulu runway 17 left, Oklahoma City, Will Rogers World Airport. I almost said Will Rogers World International Airport, but it's just World Airport. I got our final approach course, 176. Our minimum altitude at Scory, which I believe is the last point on the approach, is going to be 2,300 feet. Our decision altitude is going to be 1555, height above the runway or above the ground, 268. So that's what we're going to put in on our computer, because it takes a long time to get to, if we do the altitude. Missed approach, we're going to climb 5,000 feet on 176. to JAVC and hold, continue climb and hold to 5,000. Authorization is required, GPS is required. Yeah, we have all this stuff, doesn't really apply to us since we are a commercial airliner. Typically these could be alright. Use of flight director or autopilot providing RNAV track guidance required during simultaneous operations. So they are operating both runway 17 right and 17 left, so we do need to use the autopilot and the flight director for the RNAV. We can't just fly it by hand. Alright, so here we got a visual of the go around. We're just going to fly straight out to JAVC and then do a hold, climbing back up to 5,000, and then we will get, probably we get then ATC will direct us probably back out, I would guess, to either Palmer or Will, I would suppose. Would make the most sense to get into kind of an approach course. You can see our fixed approach point, or I think that's what happening. I might be wrong on that. 2,300 feet, and then we'll have a 3-degree glide slope into runway 17. Decision altitude right there, 15.5. Also looking at, again, another visual here, 5,000 for our missed approach. 5,000 feet on course 176 to JAVC, and then hold. There it is. And once we get landed at 17 left, see the terminal right there. So we're going to be looking at one of these gates. The 17 left, we're going to be out over here. Either exit, I'm guessing we'll probably exit at Golf or Foxtrot. From there we'll come back up Echo or Kilo into the terminal area, then to our gate. We'll find out pretty soon. There we go. There's our approach. There's our kind of our approach arrival briefing. You can do this after. Well, I was planning on doing this afternoon, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, just the way the streaming is going. Was I wanted to do these 2 flights, and then I was going to start the long haul between Indonesia, not Indonesia, French Indonesia or French Polynesia and Fiji. I wanted to start that flight and then do errands and chores and stuff, but I don't think that's gonna work out just the way the streaming is going, and unfortunately. Internet is not cooperating today. Hi, we're in Oklahoma. We're actually just look off to our log off right over there. That's Texas. I wonder if this is kind of like the border. It almost looks like it, right? Kind of the. But we're right in that the panhandle over there, and then here's the Texas panhandle, and then the Oklahoma panhandle kind of up there. Kind of give you a little bit of an orientation if you know where we are. Yeah, as you can see, you can clearly see the streaming is, yeah, the quality's crap, so unfortunately, kind of it. Yeah. I don't know, I'll probably try to, once we get done with this flight, I'll see if I can turn on, maybe turn the VPN on and see if that will help things. Alright, so we got our arrival instructions. Runway 17 RNAV Zulu. Transition flap. Put that in there. We're going to be going to gate 2 Bravo. Arrival cam at 3. Transition roll. No idea what 2 Bravo is because it's not a real life gate. Every time.
Arrival, flat 9 out Zulu. Approach, runway 17 left. Report when ready for descent. SkyWest 4681.
United 790, contact Albuquerque Center 124.32.
I'm not gonna. If I do a VATSIM flight, I'm not gonna stream it. So I don't. You know, you're not gonna know where I'm at anyway. Because the streaming is. I can barely stream this flight.
SkyWest 4681. Ready for descent.
SkyWest 4681. Descend and maintain. Flight level.
Unfortunately.
Descend and maintain. Flight level.
Hi, descending, maintaining,
SkyWest 4681.
descending, flight level 280. And seatbelt sign on. Take a look at the. It wants us to send 1,800 feet per minute.
November 379 Bravo. Contact Albuquerque Center 124.32. Contact Albuquerque Center 124.32. November 379 Bravo.
If I do any VATSIM, it won't be streaming this afternoon for sure. But I doubt I'll be doing VATSIM this afternoon or for the next flight. Primarily because there's really no coverage going on anyway in the US for my next flight. Oklahoma City down to Houston, there's nothing. I'm looking at it. I don't even know if we're going to be able to make the Houston flight anyway. To be honest. Weather-wise.
SkyWest 4681. Descend and maintain. Flight level 190.
Descend and maintain. Flight level 190. SkyWest 4681.
Alright, 2,700 feet per minute now to get down to where we need to be at CAMET. Flight computer's giving us CAMET. They want a computer saying 11,900 CAMET. We do need to be between 15 and 10,000, so that's a good target. Not sure why we don't have SCUF as part of the of our approach here. For some reason. We do have docks and flap, but at SCUF we got 280 knots. We should be fine. Holding right now about Mach 0.74, which is exactly where we want to be. Why is the drone camera? There's sometimes the drone camera is very tipsy. The plane is also being very tipsy. A hard time getting on the course. Having a heck of a time. It keeps overcorrecting. Yeah, it keeps banking like crazy. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this thing. What's this weird? Come on. Level out. There we go. I almost turned off the autopilot. I was just going to get it slide into there by hand. Alright, so we want to be at 280. I don't know why it's struggling so bad. And see, it's overcorrecting. See that? It's trying to get onto the pink line, and then it goes too far. What's wrong with the... I've had this happen before, but it's been a while. Crazy. Alright, let's see. In range check, altimeters. Okay, we're not there yet.
Radar contact maintained. Flight
Get on this lake. Passengers would probably think I'm like, why is he banking back and forth, back and forth? Tell ya.
American 1678, radar contact maintained. Flight level 340. Maintain flight level 340. American 1678.
American? Alright, Camet's coming into range.
Delta 1267, radar contact maintained. Flight level 340. SkyWest 4681, descended maintained. 17,000, altimeter 2973.
Descended maintained.
See the Canadian River running in front of us. Once we get to Kamat, we'll should start seeing Oklahoma City right there.
Radar contact. Expect Echo Romeo ILS approach runway 17. Expect Echo Romeo ILS approach runway 1713. Take 13, proceed direct to Echo Romeo, maintain 9,000, altimeter 2974. Proceed direct Echo Romeo, maintain 9,000, take 13.
Clear me down to 10,000 here.
SkyWest 4681, descended, maintain 8,000, altimeter 2976, contact ST Word, center 133.5.
Descended, maintain 8,000, contact ST Word, center 133.5. SkyWest 4681.
FT Worth, Fort Worth. I guess we're in the Fort Worth Center now.
SkyWest 4681.
Alright, descending down to 8,000 feet.
Descending 8,000.
Coming up on Kamat, we need to be above 10,000 though. And let's get our pressure, 297.
SkyWest 4681.
American 2049, descended, maintain.
Yep, altimeter set.
Descended, maintain. Flight level 280. American
Southwest 4747, radar contact, maintain, flight level 380. Maintain, flight level 380, Southwest 4747. Delta 733, radar contact, maintain, flight level 340. Maintain, flight level 340, Delta 733. American 2049, descended, maintain, flight level 180.
Descend and maintain. Flight level 180. American 2049er.
UPS 2855, heavy, contact Kansas City, center 127.8. Contact Kansas City, center 127.8, UPS 2855, heavy. American 1107, radar contact, maintain, flight level 330. Maintain, flight level 330, American 1107. Expect Tango Uniform Lima, ILS, approach, runway 18 left, Southwest Q060. Southwest 2060, proceed direct Tango Uniform Lima, descend and maintain, 14,000, altimeter 2974. Proceed X Tango Uniform Lima, descend and maintain, 14,000, Southwest Q060. SkyWest 4681, proceed direct flap, clear cabin 3, arrival.
Proceed direct flap, clear cabin 3, arrival. SkyWest 4681.
Delta 733,
Oh,
radar
you
contact,
guys got to clear us down to
maintain,
5,000
flight
though,
level
because flap
340.
is 5,000.
Maintain, flight level 340, Delta 733. SP West Center, SkyWest 3838, Sierra Tango Papa Hotel, November 3, departure at 6,200, climbing
Oklahoma City right in front of us.
SkyWest 3838,
Del Reno right
radar
there.
contact, continue climb,
Outside.
15,000,
Actually,
altimeter
Camet is
2977.
right over Calumet. Calumet probably below us.
15,000, SkyWest 3838. ZX844, heavy, descended, maintain, flight level 340, contact Kansas City, center 127.8. Descend and maintain, flight level 340, contact Kansas City, center 127.8, ZX844, heavy. Delta 733, radar contact, maintain, flight level 340. Maintain, flight level 340, Delta 733. Southwest 2060, descended, maintain, 12,000. Descend and maintain, 12,000, Southwest Q060. American 2049, descended, maintain, 15,000, altimeter 2979.
Descend and maintain. 15,000. American 2049.
American 2049er, cleared for Joven 5, arrival, altimeter 2979er.
Cleared for Joven 5, arrival, American 2049er.
SkyWest 4681, descend and maintain 5000.
Descend and maintain 5000, SkyWest 4681.
Southwest 2060, descend and maintain 3500, contact Kansas City Center 127.8. Descend and maintain 3500, contact the Kansas City Center 127.8, Southwest Q060. Shuttle 6247, radar contact, proceed to reach Hotel Oscar Foxtrot Echo, climb and maintain, flight level 230. Proceed to Hotel Oscar Foxtrot Echo, climb and maintain, flight level Q30, Air Shuttle 6Q47. Martex 680, descend and maintain, 11,500, altimeter 2978.
Descend and maintain 11,500, Martex 680.
Delta 733, radar contact, maintain, flight level 340. Maintain, flight level 340, Delta 733. SkyWest 3838, climb and maintain, flight level 240. Climb and maintain, flight level 240, SkyWest 3838. Southwest 2060, radar contact, expect Tango Uniform Lima ILS, approach, runway 18 right.
Is that the airport? That can't be the airport. That's what's it called? Wiley Post Airport. Actually, right there.
Martex 680, expect Sierra Papa Sierra, Uniform Kilo Whiskey 7, arrival, equal ILS, approach, runway 18 right.
Ronak! Welcome in. Butter landing, maybe. Been kind of back and forth lately. I had some good butter ones, then I had some firm ones. Kind of been.
SkyWest 4681, turn left.
Haven't cratered anything lately. I think they've been sub 300 most of them.
087, maintain 4,200, SkyWest 4681.
Alright, we gotta get down to 2300 by Scory, and then we'll... Oh, I still got the, still got my Thrustmaster. But I'm flying, yeah, I'm flying left-handed. Even though in the CRJ we have a yoke. But in the Airbus, if I was on the left seat, you know, captain, then I'd be flying with the left stick.
3,500, contact Doak City, approach 118.95, SkyWest 4681.
Been in here.
Oak City approach, SkyWest 4681 at 4,700, descending 3,500.
SkyWest 4681, radar contact, 3,500, altimeter 2977.
Continue descent 3,500, SkyWest
Yoke over the yoke.
4681.
SkyWest 4681.
Yeah. Well, it's like as I'm reading about, you know, flying and everything, it's a lot of, I'm realizing that it's like a big problem with the flight simulators is that you don't get that feedback on the yoke or on your control surfaces, so you don't know how much to put in. that's so much of it is actually,
SkyWest
because with a simulator, everything's always the same, right? Your stick always feels the same, whereas in a plane, you get more pressure, so you don't have to put as much, or you have to put more feedback, right? More pressure to control the surfaces depending on what you need to do. Yeah, and it's not always the same.
Turn right to heading 149er.
Turn right to heading 149er. SkyWest 4681.
SkyWest 4681. Turn right to heading 157.
Turn right to heading 157. SkyWest 4681.
Like Oklahoma City is going to be a pain with all the
SkyWest
trees.
4681. Turn right to
Trees
heading
are a little bit more
172.
spring. You actually see a few trees with some pink leaves coming up on them too.
4681.
There's the airport. There's the runway. We are coming in runway 17 left. That is right. There's the right one.
SkyWest
There's left. So we're looking good.
Turn right to heading 177.
Turn right to heading 177.
Landing gear down.
SkyWest 4681.
SkyWest 4681. Proceed direct to
Thrust
scoring.
reversers armed.
Proceed direct to scoring. SkyWest 4681.
1000.
SkyWest 4681. Clear RNAV Zulu. Approach at 2300. Runway 17 left. Report established final track.
Cleared RNAV Zulu. Approach at 2300. Runway 17 left. Report established final track. SkyWest 4681. SkyWest 4681. Established on final track.
SkyWest 4681. Contact Rogers Tower 119.35.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Contact
if you're
Rogers
creating
Tower,
a simulator that's going to have force feedback and all that
SkyWest
stuff, I mean,
4681.
it's gonna cost you money, because that's, yeah, I mean, that's a key.
SkyWest
And I wonder how much,
4681 on final
like, where would they would get that? I wonder how much, like, actually the software itself, your flight simulator actually has
Continue approach.
that information
SkyWest
to
4681.
convert into force feedback.
Sync rate 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
SkyWest 4681. When vacated, contact ground 121.9.
When vacated, contact ground 121.9.
Oh, those lights are in the wrong place. No wonder I didn't have any lights to know my slope.
SkyWest 3075. Wind 170 degrees at 9
Alright, we're
o'clock.
exiting
Runway
at
17
Mike, so we're a little bit
right,
further
clear to
down.
takeoff.
I was planning on Foxtrot or Golf.
Runway
That's totally fine.
Rogers ground. SkyWest 4681.
Landing lights
Runway
off, strobe
vacated
lights
with
off.
Romeo.
Wichita ground. Set criteria Demarine 1203.
Wichita ground.
907. Request pushback and start up.
I vacated with Romeo, not Romeo, it's Mike.
SkyWest 4681, taxi
This is
to gate.
what they're telling us is useless. We're gonna go on a Echo.
Foxtrot, Julie.
We're gonna go Echo Golf Kilo.
Taxi to gate 2 Bravo via Romeo.
Figure out which
Quebec Golf,
gate we want.
Foxtrot, Juliet.
Running
SkyWest
GSX.
4681. Secretariat de Marina 1203. Push
You can
back
see
and
there. See,
start
this
up.
is Foxtrot is the next one, but it's saying or
Push back and start
saying
up
it's golf.
approved. Secretariat de Marina 1203. Wichita Ground.
Who gives?
Secretariat de Marina 1203. Request a taxi. Secretariat de Marina 1203. Taxi to holding point. Runway 19er right. 5 Hotel. Bravo. Delta Alpha. Juliet. Foxtrot. Echo. Hold short of runway. 01 right. 19er
the
left.
tots off.
Taxi to holding point. Runway 19er right. 5 Hotel. Bravo. Delta Alpha. Juliet. Foxtrot. Echo. Hold short of runway 01 right. 19er left. Secretariat de Marina 1203.
Not Quebec. This is Echo. I don't know where they get these like these taxiways names. Coming up on Golf, but it's saying it's Foxtrot. Okay. Who put these signs in? I don't know. I think I actually do have this is a modded airport, so I don't know if they just put the wrong taxi signs. It always confuses me when they do, someone mods the airport and they get it completely wrong. I don't know. They just look at the wrong map or what. It was pretty smooth. I'll let you know. We'll see what the feet per minute was. I think it was pretty good. Hope you can go back and could have actually gone down further instead of being in the gate area. I don't know if I'm going to keep streaming or if I'll just fly this flight myself. You know, I'm not going to stream every flight I do with this SkyWest, with my pilot's life thing. I do enjoy streaming when I can, but the streaming quality is pretty crap. So I'm going to see if I can get it to work better. If I can't, still having stream issues, then I'll fly the flight down to Houston. And you know, considering how many flights I'll probably do with this SkyWest career in a pilot's life, I mean, we'll get to a number of these airports again and again, and not as if we're missing something major by not seeing Houston if you're not able to, because I don't think Houston's I think Houston's probably just a generic airport as well. I don't think it's mapped out very well or anything. Going all the way to the backside here. Really? That's it right there. I'm too far. Yeah, I'm going all the way to the backside, but not really. Cut the engines. Let's get the wheel chocks and we'll get that connected. Boarding process.
Deboarding requested.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your...
Passengers deboarding starting.
There they are. There the passengers go. Alright, we got the APU flaps. That already. Let's do shutdown. Chocks and brakes. Electrics. Fuel feed. Thrust lever shut off. Seatbelts off. Anti-ice off. Fuel pumps off. Hydraulic pump. Turn these off. Beacon light off. And nose wheel steering off. Alright, we'll leave it at that point because we are doing a turnaround. Yeah. Okay, so let's check out the flight. Let's bring up Volanta. Good flight. Yeah, no terrible course deviations. You can see we kind of wobbly, especially right here. But this was the autopilot being all kind of wobbly. Weird. Landing rate negative 154.27, G-force 1.06. So yeah, it was a smooth landing, I would say.
Do you want
Not
to
too bad.
Crew?
Sure, why not?
Deboarding starting.
Reality, we probably wouldn't, but we have a little bit of time between now and the next flight, so get off and grab a coffee or something. Okay, and I'm gonna bring up of a pilot's life. Take a look at this flight report. See, what did I get? Taxi light off on the taxi in, but it was on, so I'm not sure. This is the one I get confused with, the taxi light off and on. Like, did we have it? We had it off earlier when we got in, coming into the gate. I don't know, because we did have the taxi light on. I didn't. I just turned off the taxi light now. A little strange, but 99 out of 100.
Captain, all passengers have left the plane.
Here you can see that it's saying the landing rate is negative 52. So it thinks we even had a better, super butter landing rate. Where is that? Yeah. Loaded slightly, a little bit further than we kind of wanted to get in here for the landing, but up a little further down. Otherwise, very good flight. Admit that. Alright, so I'm gonna step away for a moment, see how the stream works. Maybe I'll try to see if we can work out the internet a little bit better. But I will be flying down from here, Oklahoma City, down to... Why is this still up? That screen on. We'll be flying down to Houston. Got a little weather down in Houston, so that should be fun. I don't know if I'll get off acid. Let me see, but I know he likes it, but it's a real pain. But, I mean, there's no real coverage right now, and trying to focus on that and getting about that time where I might not be able to focus on it or do it. So I'll let you know if I do go on there, and we'll see if I'm still streaming or not. But I'm going to step away for a moment and possibly get things prepared for the next flight. If the stream ends, it's because either the stream quality is really crap and I decided to end the stream, and maybe I'll step in quick and let you know. Either way, if we're going to be going forward with the next flight or not via the stream. So I keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, I'll go to an intermission and see what's going on in the rest of my house, what our plans are for today, and I'll let you know. So thanks for coming along, and I will see you in a few minutes. You know what the plan is. Alright guys, update. I'm gonna probably end this stream. We're just gonna do this one flight. I don't know when I'll do this flight from Oklahoma City, Houston, but I will probably start in the next, might start the flight from French Polynesia over to Fiji. Since that's a little bit of a longer flight, I can have that running while I'm running some errands. So keep an eye out for that. That might be coming up in the next hour. And if not, I will see you next time we stream. I mean, it's just how it is in this house, so I can't really, I got a little bit of time when I can stream, and we try to fit these flights in when we can. So thanks for coming along. I will see a bit later, hopefully today. And if not, I'll see you on Thursday for another flight. See you then.